The left in the media is out in force, of course, already just trying to destroy Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett again. This is something they've done for years. Of course, they always talk smack about Chuck Dixon, always talk smack about Joe Bennett, and it's all just over politics. Even though these two men are doing wonderful work in comics and have for the last 20 years, Chuck Dixon, everything he writes is gold. Joe Bennett just got off of his Immortal Hulk run, which is some of the best Hulk stuff in history. They can't help themselves. They've blacklisted these gentlemen from, of course, getting jobs in the mainstream, and now they want to try to torch their projects before they're even out. So it's interesting. You see that Rich Johnston, Bleeding Cool, likes to lead this charge. He's part of the Whisper Network, of course, and of course you see the members of the Whisper Network chiming in once he does his thing. But this is what he has been known for, just absolute hit pieces. Now, of course, in the indie spaces, it's weird that he's even covering anybody at all. But because Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett are names that, of course, go through to the mainstream before they got blacklisted, he does cover it. So this is, we'll just see kind of like the bad way that he does so in just a moment. It's absolutely crazy here. But oh well. My name's John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. If you're sick of the crap that the mainstream spews, I'm of course blacklisted as well, making my own comic out on Kickstarter right now. This is All Eyes on Ashley with fellow conservative and Christian Mike S. Miller on the art. So we've done a wonderful job here. Beautiful book that you will absolutely enjoy. We're getting close to 100 backers, and I really appreciate you guys for supporting our art projects. Grab this right now. You can get it pretty cheap digitally if you just want to check it out, or we have print editions available too, and some super limited stuff. I've never put out like a hollow foil sort of like a shiny comic before. This is going to be the first one I ever do. So we'll see how that goes. And I really appreciate you guys who backed that so far. Check that out. The link's in the description below. So here's Bleeding Cool's article. Former Batman writer Chuck Dixon creates Horseman with Joe Bennett. Not an innocuous headline. Doesn't seem too bad at this point. And of course, here it is. Eric July announced Horseman. And they just have an article summary. But here it is. Artist Joe Bennett moves past Marvel controversy. Dixon, known for right-wing comics. Here it is. And this is how he's going to get them in the article and, of course, get people outraged that, of course, Chuck Dixon's just making an action comic. Most of his comics don't have much politics in it, to be honest. Chuck just likes action, likes fun. He's a big action movie guy, and this is something that you would expect him to do. So... This is their own creation. There's been, of course, a bunch of people in the indie sphere who are, of course, trying to target this the other day. It's going to be good stuff because it's Chuck and Joe. These people are the consummate professionals, some of the best in the business, and I'm excited for this to come out in the summer. But here's what Rich Johnston does. I don't think Joe Bennett has gone French on us. There's a typo. Of course, he immediately attacks the image that is a promotional image, which has a typo on it real quick. And that's how they're going to open up with this, right? But as he goes on, he used to write Batman, Birds of Prey, Nightwing. But then he's doing Clinton Cash, Trump's Space Force, and Vox Day's Alt Hero. Rum-bum-bum. Well, of course, like he ignores the fact that he did 100 Ninja Bear, which was really successful last year. That he's been working for Zenescope, that Chuck Dixon's done some other work that was just all over the map. Chuck writes a lot. He's got his Leave on Cade book series out right now that, of course, is getting developed by Sly Stallone for a feature film. That's pretty cool. And but, of course, this is how Rich Johnston wants to portray things. Don't back this. He's a right-wing bigot. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. His claims he was blacklisted from Marvel and DC's have been denied. That's interesting, but he has absolutely been blacklisted. I know Chuck has, as has everybody else who's in a right-wing space here. Then he goes on Joe Bennett. You notice how they don't talk about how good they are and how much they've got their stuff that's beloved. They just go and attack them like this. This is exactly what he does. Got into trouble at Marvel. Wait a minute, Joe Bennett was doing great work. He did Birds of Prey with Gail Simone. Good. Everybody loved that run, right? He did, of course, the Immortal Hulk, which we talked about at the beginning of this video. Everybody loved that run. We could talk about that stuff and how good it was and how great his art is. But no, he was accused of anti-Semitism. And then for his cartoon support of Jair Bolsonaro on horseback, wielding a sword to behead political opponents. Might this be a partial inspirational reference to Horseman? So he's immediately tying it to politics. Now, if you've read any of the Rippaverse comics so far, there's nothing political in them. It's ridiculous to do this. But this is what they do. They want to paint everything in this brush so that they know they're identifying the other. These people need to be destroyed, according to somebody like Rich Johnston. This is what they do every single time. And it's really insidious, and it destroys careers and hurts good people who are making good comics at the same time. Now, Joe Glass, which was, of course, brought to the attention by your boy Zach, commented on this as well. And so here it is. So the homophobe and then the anti-Semite are working together? What a surprise. Look at this. Now, Joe Glass, of course, threatened to burn down a conference because he didn't agree with somebody's politics in England. Absolutely unhinged and crazy. The guy's a lunatic. And yet, of course, he attacks other people because of the way that Bleeding Cool framed this. You see how he noted the Bleeding Cool article when posing this right here. And this is what they do. It's a whisper network. It's always the same people. And they do this intentionally to try to distract from the fact that there's good books coming out that are not allowed by the mainstream industry, and that's what's happening. Of course, they won't even mention All Eyes on Ashley. Too good of a book for them. Rich Johnston is scared that we're going to catch on. They're scared of my prowess here as a writer and as a creator. We've done amazing things in a ton of different genres, and we're just getting started. Back this today, my friends. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this, and hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.